Lama dan Khenpo Pem Yang La Chang Sa Lo Ngye Lo Den Dim Nyen Ten Da Ni Tara Ngam Da Ra Sa We Jin Nyen Den Kun Jin Sen Si Chir Ni Dien Tung Gara Le Wa Jen Gan Da Se Pe Tra Ma De Mundum Dung An Je Se We Do Cho Kun Lam Bu Che Tar Se Yan La Dru Chu Yan Den Su Du Dran Cher Do Nyom Ni Lo Le Dien Chan Du Dul Je Je Ma Re Mun Sa Du Na Nyu Gu Jine Chuje Radre Na Dune Da Chin Sa Che Tar Se Yundan Chuzo Jase Truwe Kun Chutra Chudan Chune Gende Dala Musa Jamba Yan La Du Omara Basanadi Omara Basanadi Omara Basanadi Omara Basanadi Omara Basanadi Omara Basanadi Mara Basanadi, 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 Mara Mara Bhajanande, 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 Zenden Kyujin Nandru Sengen Dalu Timon Rambarasane Kadan Shulu Tubayi Ludu Pumbe Nawara Sadu Nukunzan Dusem Garab Shurisim Pema Kerajebani Shungan Suzu Nugna Tetan Jatsasu Katere Lama Namla Survade Umin Jogi Yinje Bodhana Dusum Sangye Gunge Ngoye Transam Choku Ngosun Dusebe Sowe Lama Namla Survade Zashi Puchu Chushe Nito Transrira Linje Ninde Gembadi Sangye Shindu Medem Bhuvayi Drugunanda Jinla Chubashu Dram Guru Ratna Mandala Putsa Mega Samudra Savarana Samaya
ki sambadam noye sedra jetarwa jejo monde bai choki kolo kojo so.
Tubi guru zanje dan tubi rangzin chenpo kya chansim nyewe se kya dan tupchen ka kya lanzo dan so wande so jun kya lo chinang so yambar jes samdi jen do ba dan chok dan ton mo nga do amzo nga kya zo jembe ma lan la ren si ba song ye chul din jik nyung po ten ba pe lan da drawa pe man nirwa ja lan so wande namo are da mal ha yi kya dan lu dan ni jun je dir bum la dang me yi kya nam da drawa kun je da nam je zambar 탐지에 계도 소소로 되결은 제스. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and hope you all doing well. And okay. So since last few years that we have been taking this, we have the Bodhisattva Class, and this class is very important, not only for the Bodhisattva practitioner, but in general, it's very helpful. It's very important, because in this book. There has mentioned so many techniques that we can use in our day-to-day life. For example, if your mind is not stable, then all kind of the problems arise. So now how one can take care of one's own mind, then that technique has mentioned in this book. And similarly, if you get anger frequently, then how one can control that anger, and what is the technique of that, and how many objects are there to get anger, and why you get the angers, and who are they, why they are creating problem to you, and why you are getting angry to them. So all sorts of the investigation or that research has been done on this particular topic, and then Shantideva has given so many the technique, and then idea, and then reason why we should not get angry to someone, and when you get angry, how one should take care of it. All kind of the technique that has mentioned. For example, in this text says that if something, when you get angry or when you get a problem in your life, or any kind of the problems, then it says the very simple thing he said is that, okay, if something's happened in your life, then the things that which happened, it's already happened now. So that's nothing that you can fix. So now there is only two options. Option is that something that fixable and something that cannot fix. So you have to investigate. If that is something that you can fix it, then why you need to be worried? Because that is something that you can fix it. So you can fix it, instead of getting worried or tensions or anxiety. And if something that you cannot fix now is something already happened and you cannot fix, never happen again, then what used to be angry or what used to be worried? So that kind of the technique has mentioned in this text, and these are very much helpful. Normally, even I use the same technique, that if some problems happen in my life, immediately I used to think that, okay, that problem has happened, now it's something that I cannot go back and then fix it, So now what I can do, is that something that fixable or not? If that is something fixable, then okay, go for that, instead of getting worried or angry or something. if something that's cannot fixable, then just let it go now. It's happened. Whatever happened, it's happened. It's past, and nobody can fix the past. And now, how to say, go for the next step. What you can do now. What is the options for the next step? So this kind of the technique has mentioned in this way of the Bodhisattva life. And then also another example that I want to share with you is in this book. It has mentioned that, for example, if you are very angry to everybody and you have so many how to say enemy in this area or in this country or in this world, and if you want to kill them or if you want to finish them, if you want to defeat, can I say defeat them, and taking carrying weapons or maybe whatever that kind of the weapon is, you carrying weapons and try to fight them, you won't be able to finish everybody. And then even though you kill those people that you see, but still you are not safe, you are not satisfied, because the next, their parents, their relatives, their sons and daughters, they becomes your anger, how to say, enemy. So in this way, then your enemies never end if you go out and kill them, or if you want to go out and kill them. Now, instead of that, if you take care of your own mind and think that, okay, I take care of my mind, I don't want to fight them, no matter whatever happened in the past, it's happened, but now from today onward, I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to take revenge, I'm not going to do anything, I don't know them, they are my how to say that, they are my strange person. So I don't know them, so we have no problem. And then this is the me that so that need to take care of one's own mind. So I myself take care of my mind, and I remain in peace. So if you take in that way, if you be able to take care of your own mind, then it will be equal to killing all the enemies, because you have no problem now, because your mind is settled down. So in these teachings, there is the one example that Shantideva has given, and that example is, he said that, for example, if you want to travel in this area or in this world or in this country or in this world, but you want to wherever you want to go, there is the, how to say, thorn, right? Thorn, everywhere. And if you want to clean that thorn everywhere, then you won't be able to, clean that, because it's not a small area; it's a large area. And if you want to cover that area by the leather, so that you can protect your feet, still you won't be able to get enough leather to cover that whole area. But instead of that, if you could find this two pieces of leather and make a shoe on your feet, then it will serve the same purpose, that protect from getting, how to say, prick to your feet. So this kind of the technique is very important, and this kind of technique is very helpful to our day-to-day life also. So it's you don't have to be not necessary to become a practitioner, to become a religions, and to become a bodhisattva practitioners. This teaching, even though this teachings has mentioned for the Mahayana practitioner, but these teachings, the technique, if we know and if we apply in our day-to-day life, it's very helpful. So this teaching is very, how to say, important book and important teachings. So I'm very much grateful to Chetsoma Rinpoche and KPC that they organized this class, and then I got the opportunity to share some of my thoughts, and then to connect with everybody. So I really want to express my gratitude and thank you for Jetsuma Rinpoche and KPC. Now this way of the Bodhisattva teachings is has put into a 10 chapter, and that 10 chapters has divided into 4 part, and it's as it Nagarjuna has said, Changchu semchok remburche make panam ke gyurchi kyawa nyamba mebayang gongni gongdu pelwar show. So this one stanza is the whole the teaching of the way of the Bodhisattva. And in translation it says that, may bodhicitta, precious and sublime, arise where it has not yet come to be, and where it has arisen may it never fall, but grow and flourish ever more and more. So this one stanza is the whole teaching of the way of the Bodhisattva. So according to this scheme, the first 3 chapters, the excellence of the bodhicitta, and then confessions of negativity and taking hold of bodhicitta, these 3 chapter is mainly for the newcomers, for person who don't know anything about the bodhisattva or bodhicitta, who don't know anything about the bodhisattva, who really don't know about what kind of the excellence of benefits of bodhicitta, what is how one should receive the bodhisattva vow, how one should prepare to get the bodhisattva vow. So whole this the techniques and whole this process and details has mentioned in these 3 chapters. Now once you receive this kind of the precious teachings, then now since we are in this world and since we have all kind of the 5 poisons, 5 negative thoughts, such as like anger, jealousy, ignorance, desires, greedy, all of that. So since we have those kind of afflicting emotions or the 5 poisons, in any moment, in anything can happen. So if that kind of the negative arise, then we could lose our the precious bodhicitta vow. So now how one can prevent, or how one have to prevent or maintain or protect that bodhicitta which just has been generated. So for that, then chapter number 4, that carefulness, vigilant introspection, and then patience. Chapter number 4, carefulness. Chapter number 5, the vigilant introspection, and chapter number 6, the patience. So these 3 chapter will give you the whole informations or technique or knowledge that how one can protect that the bodhicitta vow, bodhicitta vow that one just has been generated. Now our goal is not just to receive the vow and to protect, but our goal is to be free from this cyclic existence and go beyond that, and then get into Buddhahood, or get the enlightenment, free from the suffering of samsara, and recognize the true nature of mind. So for that, then we have to develop our knowledge, we have to develop our qualities, our noble qualities. And for that, how one can develop our noble quality, then for that, then another 3 chapters. Diligence or perseverance, and then meditative concentrations, and then wisdoms. So this 3 chapter will give you the whole whole informations or idea or technique that how one can develop our noble quality, how one can develop our bodhicitta's level, how one can practice, how one can get into how the practical way of Bodhisattva. So this whole the information has mentioned in this 3 chapter. So chapter number 1 to chapter number 9 is whole chapter number 1 to chapter number 8 is the relative Bodhisattva, how the way of the Bodhisattva or Bodhicitta, relative Bodhicitta, I would say. So now chapter number 9 is the ultimate Bodhicitta, because in chapter number 9, then there comes the actual practice of the Bodhisattva. Because in that, then it has mentions how now, then in that chapter, then it's teach you the view of the Bodhisattvas, view of the Mahayanas. The view of the Mahayana is then to see the truth, to see the reality, to see the nature. Now, what is the nature of the oneself, and what is the nature of phenomena? So, nature of oneself and nature of phenomena is selflessness, and then empty, and then free from elaborations. Just like dreams, just like illusions, just like optical illusions, just like the moon in the water, just like how to say the mirages, mirage, like mirage, something like that. So those are the example. So whole things like oneself and others, oneself and then whole phenomena are this selflessness, and then empty, and then free from elaborations. Now that to see that view, to understand that the reality or nature is the chapter number 9. That technique has mentioned in this chapter number 9 with reason. So now this 9th chapter, till 9th chapter is the process that being a Bodhisattva practitioner, Bodhicitta practitioners, being as a follower of Bodhisattva, so these are the process, or these are the practical training. Now, once we done with those practice, once we complete those practice, then from there, then we have accumulate the merit, meritories or merit, a positive, let's say positive vibe. Now that positive vibe or that positive result, that merit, now being as a Bodhisattva practitioner, as a Bodhicitta practitioner, then now we have to generate, we have to dedicate to others. Because Mahayana practitioners, when we say Bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. Now, what is that mind of enlightenment is? Then that is altruistic intentions, thinking about others, thinking about benefit of others, thinking, putting other people as a priority, keeping our mother as an example, and keeping others in front of us, and give them a priority. And whatever you do, any kind of the activity, whether that is chanting a mantra, whether that is practicing the chok, whether that is practicing the sadhana, whether that is really getting into a mandala, whether that is receiving the empowerment, any kind of the activity that you do, the purpose of doing that practice should be benefit to others, and that is the practice of Mahayana. And after practice that, at the end, then dedications also very important, because dedication means whatever you accumulate the merit, that merit that you need to dedicate, that merit you need to dedicate to all the sentient beings, benefit of others. And with that, then you can also make aspirations. So dedication and aspirations is two different things, but then dedication and aspiration always comes together, because once you make a dedications, then with that you can also add the aspirations, and you can also make a prayer, then all kind of the prayer that you have, you know. So all of this 10 chapters. So today is the chapter number 10, the dedications of the resulting merit for the benefit of others. So this is the chapter that we're going through now, and for that also there has a subject. The one is the brief expositions and the detailed teachings. So brief exposition is we already gone through yesterday, and today is the detailed teachings. Now within the detailed teaching also there has three subdivisions: dedications of the virtue as the cause of happiness and of the benefit for others; dedications of virtues for one's own sake, that is as the cause of enlightened activities; and dedications for the propagations and prosperity of the Buddha's doctrine, embodying as it does the twofold goal. So there are the three main subdivisions. So today is the first one: dedications of the virtue as the cause of happiness and of benefit for others. And in that also has another two subdivisions: dedications of virtues in order to free the weak from suffering, and then dedications of virtues for the sake of perfecting the supreme goal. And today is the first one, the dedications of the virtue in order to free the weak from suffering. And within that also has two another subdivision: general dedications of the virtue in order to rid the three worlds of the sorrow with which they are filled, and dedications of virtue in order to free being from their particular suffering, such as those of the three lower realms. So out of these two subdivisions, today is the second one, the dedications of virtue in order to free being from their particular suffering, such as those of the three lower realms. So yesterday, what we learned is we learned to dedicate the general part, thinking that all 10 directions, the sentient beings, whoever wandering in this suffering of samsara, in the 10 directions, Shantideva had make up prayers and aspirations and these dedications, saying that may all sentient beings, their body and their mind filled with the peace and bliss and happiness as the oceans, and they never fall down into the three lower realms from that happiness. That is what he dedicated yesterday. And today is now particular. So when we say particular, there is a three lower realms. One is the hell realms, one is the animal realms, and one is the hungry ghost realm. So this is what we call three lower realms. So actually there are the 6 realms. So when we say cyclic existence or samsara or korwa, so that is the one chakra we're talking about, the wheel of life. That is the samsara, or that is the cyclic existence. That is the chakra that we have, and that chakra, has the 6 divisions. Can I say divisions? 6 divisions or 6 category, and that 6 category has divided into 2. One is upper realm and one is lower realms. So upper realm is what we call heaven. Lower realms, what we call one is lower realm, or another way we can say hell realms also, because all of that 3 is the full of sufferings. They don't have any opportunity to practice dharma. They don't have any opportunity to be to be free from that kind of the suffering, and also they don't have that kind of the capacity or understanding, sense of understanding to understand good and bad. So that is why it's called lower realms or bad realms. The upper realm means it's called heaven. So heaven means the human realms, demigod realms, and God realms. So these three is the heaven, because in these three you have full opportunity, you have full freedoms, you have all kind of the options that you want. Especially in the human realms, you have every kind of you have all kind of the options that you want. All you have to do is use your mentality. So Shantideva said the lower realm is the object of pity, right? Pity, I would say, the mercy, because they are really into the suffering. They are really in the problems that they don't know themselves that what they are doing. They don't know themselves that what they should do. They don't know themselves how they can get out from that suffering of samsara. Of course, they want happiness, but then day by day they are engaging into the suffering and creating the negative karmas. Because of that, and again they are taking different rebirth in the same situations. So Shantideva really want to make a dedications and prayers and focus on those three lower realms, and he made a dedication for them. So first here is the hell realms, because hell realm is the worst of the worst realms in these six realms. So jigdeng kham na nyalwa da gangda jingye yoba nam dedak tuni luchen nam dechen dewe gawar shoks. The dedication, chapter number 10, dedications of the way of the Bodhisattva, dedication chapter of the way of the Bodhisattva, and then verses number 4. Throughout the sphere and the riches of the world, in hellish state as many as there are, may beings who abide their taste the bliss and peace of Sukhavati. Says that in this world, particularly in this hell realms, whoever has remained, whatever sentient beings, whatever quantity of sentient beings that remain in this hell realms, all kind of that sentient beings, may the sentient beings get into the happiness realm, and then joy in that happiness realms. So that is what he made up her dedications. Dhangwe nyamthak thotop sho chanchu sembe tinchen le jungwe chu thayegi tsangwe nyamthak silver shows. May those caught in the freezing ice be warmed, and from great cloud of bodhisattvas, torrents rain in boundless streams, to cool those burning in infernal fire. Right? So again here making aspirations, saying that in hell realms there are the two type of the hell realms, or two type of the problems that they are facing. One is cold situations and one is hot situations. Now first here they are saying the cold situations. Like in hell realms they're having a cold situations, and that cold is 8 kind of the cold. And the cold is like your body's spread kind of this crack. Can I say crack? Crack because of that cold, too cold, then your bodies become crack, and then from there your bodies becoming full crack, and then from there the bubbles comes, and then you cannot really control of that because of the too cold. Then your teeth is really chattering, and then yeah, like that. Then there are the uh, 8 type of this cold, this how to call it, the problems or sufferings that they are facing. So all those kind of 8 cold situations may transform into it says that hot dreams. And then also it's saying that from this bodhisattva's cloud, then all kind of the waters fall downs, or that's rain fall downs, and from that waters, then both the hell realms, they also has 8 type of the hot sessions sufferings, and then that kind of the hotness also can cool downs from that rain, and every sentient beings remain into this how to say cold, and then relax, and then happy moment. That is what he is saying. And raldiso me nakchal yang dela gachal dugur shows shalmali tongbo yang paksam shingdu tungor shows. May forest where the leaf are blades and sword become sweet grove and pleasant woodland glades, and may the tree of miracle appears supplanting those upon the hill of Salmali. Now here saying again in hell realms, there is another type of the suffering is that who lose their bow, and then particularly that they're losing the bow, they have different type of the suffering in the hell realms. So that suffering is when someone is very loved, so one is very like, because for example, if I like someone, then when I die and I lose my bow, then when I die, I reborn into the hell realms, and I see that my loved one is top of that tree, and then now you have to go there to meet her. So then when I have to go there because of that tree and live, and at that moment all the leaves that leaf of the tree, that becomes the kind of the sword and then blade, so that cut our body. And then when you really get there after so many troubles, then you see that your loved one is on the ground. So those kind of the problems happen, and those is in hell realms. So here, what how does Shanti Deva making a dedication is, even that kind of the trees in hell realms, whoever experiences those kind of the sufferings, may that tree become into this wish fulfilled tree, so then that person can fulfill wish their wish, and then live into the peace and happy life. And that is what it's saying. Thingril ngurba dagdang ngangpa dang keso kengen jimba jejurchik pema tesung seden chokdagi nyawe sa chokdani nyamgar shows. And may the very pits of hell be sweet, with the fragrant pools all perfume with the scent of lotus, and lovely with the cries of swan and goose, and waterfalls so pleasing to the ears. And then also that area that you live, and that the hell realms, that place, may that place becomes very beautiful with the swan, and then goose are going around, and then having a very beautiful sound and music around you. And then also that oceans or that lake that you see, and that also become very fragrance and perfume, and then very good smell, and then all that's hell realms, the areas may becomes like that. That is how that making a dedications. Solpung deng rinchen pungbor gyurs sachik selgi sashi tarwarashos dujom rio namjang chopai shalme khangyur deshik kangwarashos. And may fairy coals turn into heaps of jewels, the burning ground become a even crystal floor, may crossing hills become a sublime abodes, offering temples, dwelling of the Buddhas. So in this, and then same way, the whole that place, the hell realms, and then whole that the hell realms burning place, that all kind of the ground, and then also that areas where there's hills, and then where that all kind of this the sentient beings suffer, those all hills are becomes a very celestial palace kind of things, celestial palace, and full of flowers, and then also kind of the sublime place, and then also all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas remain there, and then everybody's, instead of seeing and worrying and terrifying those places, they can praise and then offering the flowers and all of the beautiful things to them. So may that whole hell realms become like a Buddha's celestial palace. Madak medos section gi charba dak dengne sungde metok charbar gyurs penchun söngi deba deyangni dengne chechir metok pembrashos. May the hill of weapons, lava, fairy stones become henceforth and rain of flowers, and all the mechols wandering with the sharp blade be now rain of flowers thrown in play. So again here what it's saying is, because of the because of your own karma, that you are experiencing hotness, hot sensations, and then all kind of the hot things fall down as an rain. So at that moment, then all that whatever kind of the weapons and then stones, hot sensations fall down to you, that weapons may become flowers, and then also they fight each other, and when they are fighting each other, they use weapon to cut each other. So that weapons also may become flowers, and then instead of throwing the may and the flower throw each others. So that is how he's making aspirations. Chur ramme medong danang jingwa dak shakun shigyur rugong medok zendar shok zendai dok dagi gewi topjil hai lutobne lamon namdal henchik dalgi pabne shoks. And those engulfed, right? Engulfed, just engulfed, right? And those engulfed in fairy Baitarani, their flesh destroyed, their bones bleached, white as a kunda flowers. May they, through all my merits, strength, have godlike form, and sport with goddesses in Mandakini, and then peaceful streams. So what he is saying is, so all those kind of the waterfall or the oceans, and then all kind of those things, and then also whoever that's having those kind of the problem in that situations, and because of that, then your whole body is this how to say blast or destroyed, and then the body becomes, your flesh becomes one part, and then your bone becomes one part, and then still you are not dying, you're suffering that kind of things. Now there's that kind of the suffering that you are really facing. So I'm making a dedications, saying that may all that flesh and then bones also that becomes like a flowers, and my because by my this merit, this power of this merit, all this body and this becomes a very beautiful God dreams form, and then you enjoy and remain into the goddesses with goddesses in the heaven realms. So that kind of the aspirations that he's making. Chi chir dini shinje midang kadang jago mise namtak je kunne munsal dega kebi thusang diko sui thunyamte gendu tena namkhai kilna chakna doje barwa shukthong ne rabdu gawi shugi digdang dalne dedang lenjik dhawara shows. What fear is it? They will ask. What grief the hensement of the badly lot, frightful vulture, and the carrion crow. What noble strength is it that bring us joy and drive away our dreadful night, right? Dreadful night. And looking skyward, they will see the shining form of Vajrapani. Then may their sin be, quenched in the joy, and may they go to him. So what he is saying is why we, worried, and why we terrifying from this the Lord of Death, and then the vultures, and then and the crowd, crowd, CROW, crow, and why we have to worry, terrifying and afraid from them, and then also why this all kind of this darkness and then comes, and then and this happiness and then joy that arise, this the power, or this what do you call it now, the source of that, who is that and how it's happening. So that is kind of the question they're asking. So now here Shantideva was saying that when this kind of the situations comes, then that persons may see upward in the sky mandala, and then when they see sky mandala, then may they see the Vajrapani sitting over there, and then the moment they see Vajrapani sitting over there, then may they are all they seen all their seen, and then the afflicting emotion and obscurations cleanse and purified, and may they generate their faith and devotions towards Vajrapani, and go to him, and then receive the teachings and practicing the teachings, and then may they get enlightenment. So that kind of the dedications that Shantideva making. meto charba pechu tangde babains nyawe medak chilchil sweba thongyurne lobru dewa chimba chi dichi sambadang semnyan namji chagna pe mo thongra shows. And when they see the seething lava float to hell, extinguished in a rain of blossoms, drenched in the fragrant stream, at once fulfilled in bliss, they will ask, how can this be? May then the denizens of the hell behold one who holds the lotus. When at that moment when the flowers, the rains comes down, the flower rains means those the flowers with the full of the perfume, and then that very like the kind of the nectars has come down, and then when that kind of the flowers come down, that flowers can destroy the fire of the hell realms. So when the people see that kind of that powerful and that kind of those things, then because of that, the moment that the fire of hell realm is diminishing, then that sentient beings, at least for the moment, they get that kind of this bliss and happiness, and then so when they see that kind of things and they contemplate on that, then that's that kind of the sentient beings. Now he is making aspirations. So when that kind of the sentient beings, even 1 second's happiness, they enjoy very much. Then why not they practice the dharma, and then they get into the real happiness realms with the chana Vajrapani, and then and get the permanent happiness. So now he's making a aspiration that all kind of this, the hell realms sentient beings, may all the hell realm sentient beings also see those Vajrapani in front of them, then make a faith and devotion, generate them faith and devotions, and then go to him. That is what it's making. Dhokdak chikba borla chingbar tsushuk hubi theduni gangi thui dungal kundal gawi shuk chinlas dowa kune yonggyop jangchu semba tsewa ke gyurpa shenu surpu senbar jikba mebar jeba sushik hin. Friends, throw away your fear and then quickly gather here. For who is it who comes to us to the vanished dread? This screaming youth with the bound of fear here, this loving Bodhisattva saving and protecting every being, whose power rebuilt all pains, bestowing joy. So now he sings, hey friends, listen to me and come here, all gather together, throw out all those kind of the problems and this kind of the things. Don't waste your times. Because come here, gather together in front of the Vajrapani, who can give you the good technique and good teachings that can be free from this suffering of samsara and the suffering, particularly this hell realm sufferings. So and that teachings is, and then the Bodhisattva's teaching or Bodhicitta's teachings. And now that kind of the once you have that kind of the teachings, then you can generate these compassions toward all the sentient beings. Now once you generate that kind of the compassions toward all the sentient beings, because of that the compassions, then you develop your how to say this noble qualities, and slowly you develop your all the noble qualities, and that diminish all your negative things, and then slowly you will be free from the suffering of samsara. So that kind of the powerful teachings, that kind of the powerful techniques, who can give you other than Vajrapani? So don't waste time and come here and gather together in front of Vajrapani. That is what he is making aspirations. Kyogi lagyai chupin dagi shabje pemur la chöjings thukje lenchel ula metok dumai choje charbaba kangtsek yong lamo tongtak toyang doden di she jamyang deda tongna dani semnyal zazo dembra shows. Behold the 100 gods who lay their crown before his lotus feet, and the rain of flower that falls upon his head, his eyes moist with compassions, the splendor of his house that echoes praise of thousands goddesses. May this in hell thus cry on seeing Manju Gosha. I am offering, and then all this the best of the best, the crown to your feet, and I am offering and praising everything to your feet. And then also I am making all kind of the like praise and respect and reverence, and then offering the melody and everything to you, the person who has the immense of power and immense of compassion towards all the sentient beings, and who can bestow us the power, and then how to say this this strength to all the sentient beings, from where then they can generate the compassion and bodhicitta, and they can practice, they can help to all the sentient beings. So at that kind of the powerful persons, I am really making how to say aspirations, and how to say praising, and then offering it. And that person is none other than the Manju Gosha itself. So whenever I see the Manju Gosha or Manju Gosha or Manjusri, and then I'm making this, by seeing you, then I'm making these aspirations. So may all sentient beings also be free from this kind of the suffering of samsara, and then they can also see you and then receive all those kind of the teachings, and be free from the suffering of samsara. Detara dagi gecha kundu sangla sok janchu semba diba metin dewadang silshing tishim nyedang charba bepthongne semjenyawa dedak ngumbar gajurchis. And likewise, throw me roots of virtues, seeing Bodhisattva like Samantabhadras, free from stain, those clouds of bliss all laden with a cooling scent rain. May all those languishing in hell come now to perfect joy. So now here making the aspiration and the dedication that by seeing this kind of the great Bodhisattva such as Samandabhadra, and then this how to say, Samanta Badra, and then Diba Namsil, Samanta Badra, and then I don't remember the name of that. Diba Namsil. It's in Tibetan. It's called Diba Namsil. And all, let's say, all kind of this, that kind of this great bodhisattva, by seeing them and by receiving their, blessings, the great blessings, and then also throwing this very fragrance and perfumeful this scent as an rain. So I'm making as a aspirations and dedication that may all sentient beings be free from this suffering of the hell realm suffering. May all sentient beings be free from hell realm suffering, and then reborn into this very joyful and then beautiful, perfect joy, and then remain there forever, and then never fall down into this hell realms again. So that kind of the aspiration or dedication he made for all this hell realm sentient beings. Till here, then the dedications for the hell realms. Now from here, the dedication for the the animal realms. So I think I will just stop here. So then we can continue this from tomorrow. Actually, the aspiration, this part are this dedications. So any kind of the dedications, once you have make any kind of the meritorious activities, then with that you can make any kind of the dedications, but here the Shantideva, as he is a good practitioner, he is a bodhisattva. So being a bodhisattva, so then he really want to make dedications to the sentient beings, particularly the who need it, and that this very problematic sentient beings at this moment is the hell realm, and then animal realms, and then Holy Ghost realm. So these three lower realms that he's making, particularly he's making the aspirations. So I'm going to stop here today. So tomorrow, next class, we can continue from here. Thank you.
So we'll do dedications. Om Sanam Dai Tam Je Zibanye Tubene Pedra Nam Banje Shing Kiga Nakshi Bala Trubaye Sipe Sole Druwa Shu Drinjen Geso Daye Druwa Kun Takdu Dambe Jadam Medal She Transhen Dani Zuba Tarjen Be Chunga Drube Zikden Zepa Shu Sangye Tempa Darshin Gepa Shu Samten Tamjen Deshin Gepa Shu Nindan Zendu Chula Chupa Shu Ranshen Dani Lungi Drupa Shu Gewa Kundu Yanda Klamadan Drume Jugi Bala Lam Jujin Sada Langi Yonten Rajone Paden Lame Gyoban Yoto. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine through our problems. Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. There are so many words that I can't even pronounce, even though I practice so many times.
That's a hard translation. Yeah.